We are clicked in. We are ready to go. Good morning, everybody. It is Donovan Sadiq. It is March 5th, 2026. Man, the days are going by fast. Am I the only one that's noticing this? Me and the VA therapist, we constantly talk about, like I'm supposed to see her one, I'll be seeing her right after this show, but program. But it's like we talk to each other like the very next day. That's how quick it's going because it seems like I just saw her. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. But if you guys also kind of see the days are just flying, let me know. I mean, we just came into the new year and we're already in March. So I don't know. Maybe when we were growing up, it seemed to me time was kind of slower. It seems like I was in elementary school for a long, long time. So, but here we are. But a great conversation yesterday, you guys. Jasmine Crockett is out, and now her autopsy is being done. I think it's kind of funny that you're looking at people online talking about, oh, the Republicans robbed her, and this. It's. Am I the only one that keeps seeing this circle and this game being played and nothing getting done? There's nothing getting done. And when Trump caused election fraud, they had an issue with that. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh my gosh, he's doing this, whatever. But when the Democrats do it, it's legitimate. But yet the Democrats don't want voter ID. And it just disappoints me when I see the ignorance, especially from our people, especially black people, let me just say that, black people, that don't understand how government works, how election works. And it just goes to show you our education system in this country. Why is it that they put more emphasis on Western history, right? France, England, European powers, all that stuff, more so than your basic rights and how your government works here, because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know your just basic rights. Martin Luther King, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, just stuff that's just, it's really irrelevant. You know what I mean? But Western cultures, oh man, Socrates, and you got to know about Shakespeare, and all of the things. If I was a European person, I guess it would be important being of European descent. But why do I have to worry about the 6-Day War or the you should know about it, but it really doesn't have any relevance, but it's just so sad because you've got people that are making excuses for Jasmine Crockett, blaming the Republicans on a Democratic primary. The Republicans aren't involved in the primary. As a matter of fact, Republicans wanted her to win because she is an easier candidate to paste versus this new guy. But this new guy, he's batshit crazy himself. He's on that trans stuff. See, this is why the Democrats continue to keep losing. One of the reasons they continue to keep losing. The gay agenda is not the majority's agenda. This dude, Tallarico, is on video, and they're going to use it against him. He's on video talking about trans issues and God is non-binary, which is heresy in my religion. That is heresy. God is a man. Men were created in God's image. Adam was created first. From the rib of Adam formed Eve. God is not a woman. God is not trans. It's sad. This guy's going to get blown out, but I want you guys to pay attention to the money the Democratic Party will put into that election to really, the Democrats know they're going to lose. They know they're going to lose that Senate seat, so but they're going to throw all this money in there, just because, and just to pay off people and to money launder and do what they got to do. Um, the stronger candidate would have been Jasmine Crockett. However, she would have got majorly blown out in a red state where she really alienated Hispanic voters, white voters. Um, if you looked at the map, it was unbelievable. She was strong in cities where there was a lot of black people. However, like I said yesterday, and a lot of pundits are saying today, and they were saying yesterday, she could have garnered 100% of the black vote, and it wouldn't have mattered. You have to garner the other groups, the independent voters. You have to get you're not going to get votes pandering and disrespecting the other groups, especially when some of those other groups cultural history and cultural background is anti-black. So this is why I was saying the sister girl thing, it's just not working. It wasn't working. Good morning, Yara. Good rising to you as well. Thank you for chiming in real quick. I'm not going to be too long on this because I got my VA appointment. But Jasmine Crockett, she didn't have a campaign manager. I really believe she thought because she has high recognition that would be enough to get her elected, and that's not the case. White supremacy is white supremacy. A lot of ignorant people do not realize the Democratic Party themselves sabotaged her. And a lot of pundits pointed that out. It was like, wait a minute, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? They sabotaged her. They extended voting for Democrats only. Go look at the history of that election. They extended the voting for Democrats only. Wouldn't that give Jasmine a advantage? Because she was so far behind. She lost by 6 or 7 points as of this morning. So extended voting would give her more time to get more people to vote for her or the other candidate. Because remember, this is a Democratic primary. So everybody involved is voting Democrat. There's no Republicans involved in this, right? Registered, or I don't, however they do it. It's a Democratic primary. So extending the voting would have given her supporters more time. But here's what I don't understand. Texas, I believe, has 2 weeks early voting. Why? See, and this is the problem with us as people, as black people. Why do we wait till the last minute? If voting is so important to you and you want Jasmine to win, why are you going to wait until voting day, where everybody's rushing to get their vote in, to have your voice be heard? Then you want to sit there and complain when they close the polls, or irregularities are going to happen. But I also want you guys to understand this. When Jasmine Crockett did not concede the night of the election, that is an old Democratic trick. And if you look at Lyndon Johnson, he was the master of it because he was a victim of it. And the trick is this: you do not call your campaign until all of the votes are counted. You don't go by, the poll says 7 or 8, right? Especially if the election is close. You wait until all the votes are counted. And if you're behind, you magically find a bunch of votes that will put you ahead. So what you do is you wait for your opponent to either concede or they act like they won, right? You say, the guy won, I'm ahead by 1,000 votes. But you don't concede until the other opponent puts themselves out there like that, then you magically find those votes. And that's an old Democratic trick. This is why I knew the Democratic Party sabotaged her by some of the things that were going on. Yeah, Yara says, I hope I saying that right. Oh, I know. Pocket was not going to make it today. Yeah, Crockett wasn't going to make it as a senator. Yeah, she wasn't going to make it. She fought for all those migrants, and look where their loyalty went to. Yeah, and you know, it's the same playbook that these black politicians do. Notice she says in her concession speech, she's going to work hard to get Democrats elected. She's telling you she's a Democrat first. She's not black first. And I'm going to say this, and I don't care what you feminazis say. Notice when she was giving her concession basically speech that night, where was the sister girl act? Where was that? Notice she can speak intelligently as she is when it's convenient to speak that way. I'm sorry. I don't know too many people. A lot of my friends that are ghetto, they're not into politics. They don't care about the voting. All they care about is, you know, the next party and all this other stuff. So I don't understand how she thinks, other than getting a soundbite, how that's going to garner you votes. People want to see what your results are. It's just sad. It's sad. But she showed you that, she showed you that she has nothing to show for going on 4 years in Congress, and she has nothing. No, they don't. Now, Smoke, I don't know if you saw my video yesterday. She could have got 100. See, Smoke, this is what I've been trying to tell people without telling them, because I don't want to hurt their damn feelings. How many times have you seen my video where I say we're being gentrified, not only physically out of our neighborhoods, but we're being gentrified politically? Look at these city council meetings. How many black people do you see on city councils? Even in stronghold black cities, Detroit, Houston, New Orleans, majority black city, but yet you see maybe one or two others on the city council. How is that possible? How are these other people being able to get on city councils in a city that is predominantly 78, 80% black? But you hit the head on the nail. I've been saying that. We're being gentrified quietly because most Negroes are not paying attention to politics. They're paying attention to the sound bites. Ooh, I like Jasmine Crockett. I told people yesterday that supported Jasmine Crockett. I said, okay, you like Jasmine Crockett. What do you like about her? Oh, you know, she's boisterous. She's a fighter. Okay, she's fighting. What is she fighting for? We see she's fighting for the migrants. You see she's crying for the migrants. And I can show you a bunch of other black politicians that are doing the same damn thing. But as a black person, which is her base of voters, what is she doing for you? What is Jasmine Crockett's policies toward black people? The person couldn't tell me. A bunch of people could not tell me. Then I had a friend talk about, well, she's done, you know, this and she's co-sponsored that. No. I didn't say co-sponsor. I said, what has she accomplished specifically for black people? Nothing. You could go look at her congressional record right now. She's accomplished nothing for black people. And then when I challenge them and I tell them, okay, you like Jasmine Crockett, whatever, what policies, even though she hasn't accomplished them, that you know of that she is fighting for, specifically for black people? Oh, I don't know any. What are you talking about then? What are you talking about? Benny, damn dog. It's lunacy. You support a person that does nothing for you, but you like them. Yeah, I like them. But yet, quietly, she just got primaried out of office. She's a Democrat first. Black is not even in the scenario because she has no accomplishments. She has no accomplishments. And ask yourself, why would a highly educated black attorney who came out of nowhere be put in a position like that to act the damn fool and ghetto? Isn't this what the Democratic Party thinks about black people fundamentally? Isn't it? The stereotypical things. Why people can't see that, I don't know. I don't know. And Yara says it, everything for illegals and migrants, nothing for the American people. Whenever I challenge somebody about a black politician and I say, name me some legislation about that person, these black folks can't name one thing. I didn't say they couldn't use their smartphone. They're not even smart enough to look at their smartphone and look it up. Yara says she's black and she go off. Reason the DNC shills vote for her. Right. No, and you think about it, Yara. She's there for a particular reason. This woman said in Congress about DEI and all this other stuff, right? And how they're afraid. She's talking to the Republicans. How they're afraid of a qualified black woman like her, and they're going to pick a less qualified white man. What did the Democrats just do to her? They picked a less qualified white man into her position. Well, not yet, but, they're a black man. Well, she got redistricted, but you know what I mean? That ran. The Democratic Party chose a white man over a black woman. And they're slowly, Smoke, replacing us out of politics by political gentrification. This is what I've been saying for how many years now? 3, 4 years? When I started noticing the trend. LA City Council used to be almost half, if not more, black. It's less than half black now. Mexicans control it. This is why I've been warning you, Smoke, and anybody listening to this broadcast. Here's what happens. This is why illegal immigration is a threat to black people. This is why the Democrats want illegal immigration. They really don't want black people in their party. From the inception of the Democratic Party, it's been based on white supremacy. Let's go back to the last 60 years. Who was fighting against civil rights? Who? Who were the people using water cannons and beating black people, jailing black people, hanging black people? It was mostly Southern Dixiecrats. They fought against civil rights. And somehow Stockholm Syndrome has taken effect to where black people love Democrats so damn much. Even though they write legislation against us, they incarcerate us. In the 90s, over 1 million black people were incarcerated. And we vote against our own interest. Yeah, that's what it's going to come to. So look, I was telling somebody the day before, and I'm always joking about this with the way things are going. I said, you guys better if you haven't seen the movie Red Dawn, you better go look 1984 Red Dawn, the real one. I said, you better, Go watch the movie Red Dawn, because if you're not prepared to go up in those mountains and be ready to fight, it's going to kick off, and that's what it's going to come to. Facts. That's their voting base. However, lots of those illegals in California voted for Trump. I live in Long Beach. Yes. And that's the thing, Yara. Latinos have a cultural racism against blacks. You know that because you're in California like I'm in California. I'm out in Moreno Valley, right? You're in Long Beach, which is about 70 miles away, right? Or maybe 80 miles, whatever. No, about 70 miles, right? You're 70 miles away from me. We see it. It's culturally in their culture. Make the race better. And see, some of my Hispanic friends, they hate when I keep bringing that up because they know it's true. They've even admitted it. They go, yeah, that's just something we're taught, right? Because they figure the whiter they are, the closer to white is. And think about it. Those people, and this is all over the Latino diaspora, they all have it. They come to this country. Why is it that all of these immigrants can come to this country? They can open businesses, they can get loans, they can go to school, they get housed, they get free food, they get everything. And these black politicians sit there and champion it. You cannot solve 1 million military veterans that are homeless, laying on the streets. But let a migrant come here. Oh, we got to give them housing. We got to do this with my tax dollars. But if I went to their country and demanded resources, because everybody knows I love going to the Dominican Republic. But they won't let me stay there. They won't let me get a job there unless I have the proper visa. That's my issue with it. If I can't do it in their country, they shouldn't be able to do it in my country. And that is the law across the world. That's why you have a passport. That passport is your agreement. Yara says, yes, that story your sister Mitra told us about that restaurant here, calling that sister a grande mayata. Yes, it is ingrained in them. Ask any Latino. You go up to them and just say, hey, have you heard the term make the race better? They all know what that means. And Yara, being here, be a black man trying to date a Latina. The Mexican men, they don't like it. They do not like it, but they have no problem dating a black woman. They don't want to date a black woman. They want to screw a black woman. They have no problem doing that. It is literal craziness that is going on. But Al Green, he didn't make it to 50%, so now he's heading to a runoff in May. And, he's an old guy that should be gone. He's ineffective. He pulled that stunt at the State of the Union to stay relevant. And again, the Democratic Party is not supporting him. And that's another thing. Jasmine Crockett had $4 million to run a campaign. She had no campaign manager. She had no infrastructure. But the white boy, in one day, raised $2-point-something million. The Democratic Party infused that into his campaign against her. Donald says, it's a shame that, Donald Ray, because that's your damn name. It's a shame that people say to black people to stop complaining or being the victim, yet they won't read American history to see what we talking about. But see, I agree with you. However, we don't read American history either. Because if we read American history, we would stop acting like victims. And the Democratic Party constantly tells us we're victims, but yet won't do anything for us. If you keep telling me I'm oppressed, then why aren't you giving me the resources and the tools so that I can be successful like you do for the Asians? I had a dude on here. I asked him, name me accomplishments of Jasmine Crockett, and he couldn't name anything. And I looked it up. She has not passed anything. She's co-sponsored bills, but there are no accomplishments. If you don't believe me, Google accomplishments of Jasmine Crockett in Congress and nothing will come up. They're going to tell you what committee she's been on and what she's co-sponsored, but there are no accomplishments. You're right. Yara says you're right. Donald Ray says I saw that video. Yara says, "Oh, We Are Not Apes is running again." Yeah, he didn't garner 50%, and so he's going to a runoff. But the guy he's running against is just another black Democrat that is geared to take his spot. So all of these older civil rights era representatives, Jasmine Crockett was handpicked to be put in that seat by her predecessor. See what I'm saying? It's all a game, and because you guys are so busy trying to make the rent, making the car note, keeping your wife happy, picking up the damn kids from basketball practice, so on, so forth, you don't have time to pay attention, which I never understand because now you have a smartphone. But what do we do with our smartphone? We're watching funny videos. Oh, look at that. The sound bites instead of doing our homework. You know? Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah, Yara says, yeah, a lot of them will scrub their lineage. Just like the Congressional Black Caucus. A lot of those people, these younger people in the Congressional Black Caucus, are first generation immigrants. If you're first generation immigrants, where do you think your allegiance is? It's not wholeheartedly to the United States. It's also to the home country. When I have an aunt that's Jamaican and a family that's Jamaican, and they came here legally. I have no problem with it. They're proud of their lineage. I get it. Nothing wrong with that. But they're Americans now. And they know they're Americans. They don't forget their heritage, but they're Americans. And they're proud of their home country, but they're Americans. I've never gone over to my aunt's house and the Jamaican flag is flying outside of her house. I've never seen that. I've never seen it. Do they wear the Jamaican colors like in the clothing and stuff? And do they teach their lineage to their children and their grandchildren? Of course, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. But they're American first. But you got people that come here, got the Mexican flag. How are you supposed to get support in another country and you're waving your flag? And again, I'm going to say this. If your country is so damn great and America sucks and this, that, why are you here? Yara says, Pax admitted she had Caribbean family. Let me look back. You know Karen Bass' grandfather Hispanic. Yes, and Karen Bass married a Hispanic man and had a child with a Hispanic man. I believe she's married to another Hispanic man. So this is where these people's loyalty lies. So Al Green is going to be facing a challenger due to the redistricting. And he's already a congressman already. They're fighting for the new district. And even if Al Green loses, the people of the Houston area, wherever this guy is, still loses because you've got basically the same person, just a younger generation. Yeah. Yara says, good for you. My third great-grandfather was Jamaican, brought here as a slave 9 months old. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I've always looked at Jamaicans and people in the Caribbean as like cousins. They were enslaved in the Caribbean areas or whatever, and we are over here. My grandmother on my mother's side is last name is Baptiste. Now, just using our basic logic, in the Caribbean, where is the name Baptiste found? In Haiti. In Haiti. Oh yeah, even Black Lives Matter in LA is against Bass now, and that's probably because the money's been cut off. Black Lives Matter has been so exposed. It's always about the money. Follow the money. It's always about that. So, now we have the midterms to look at. But like Donald Ray says, They don't want black people in politics. We are being gentrified. I don't understand why people cannot see that. California, Yara, you know, we have no voice here. 100 black people, 100% of black people could vote, and our candidate would not win without the other groups. The white and the Hispanic, if you look at the voting in Texas, and just in general, white and Hispanic usually vote together. Because again, make the race better, right? So if Hispanics are 40% of the population, white people are what, 39% of the population, black people are 12% of the population, allegedly, and then Asians make up 8 or 9%, how, and you take half of those numbers for the other groups, how can black people win? Now you've just flooded the floodgates with all of these people who come here with their racism. The Asians come here too. The Asians come here too, especially in the Asian diaspora. White is right. The whiter you are, the better you are. Have you seen some of those milk white Asians? This is what's going on. Yara says the Caribbean folks are distant family, some closer. Batiste in LA connect to my Dupree land. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. And my grandmother was dark, beautiful woman. I mean, you know, that dark, flawless skin. That's why I think why I like dark women. I don't know what it is. To me, their skin is just flawless. My grandmother, to me, and I was just a kid because she died when I was like 17 or 18 years old. But when I would visit with her and I would look at her skin, to me, her skin was flawless. Like right now, you see the scars on my face because I got that chocolate whatever look. You can see the flaws, but hers you couldn't see any. At least to me, you couldn't see any flaws. Yeah, none. I am for full force of ICE here in California. Yeah, me too. Again, 17 million people is alleged to have been let into this country. If black people are only 40% of the population, and we're not even talking about FBA, FBA has to be at least 13 million of us, maybe, that are descendants of slaves here. 13 million of us. How do you compete against that in 4 years? They let all of these people in here with their racism in 4 years. How do we compete against that? I don't think we can. Yeah. And that's the thing. I had another friend that told me, you know, it is unrealistic to think that blacks are going to get something specific to them, because I brought up the Kamala Harris thing and all that other stuff, right? I said, wait a minute. How is that unrealistic when the Asians got a bill based off of our vote? The Dreamers get a status. The Afghans get a status. The Ukrainians get a status. The LGBTQ get a bill. That's specific to them. Why is it? And and it's so sad that it's us as black people that keep talking down what we're saying. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But yet nobody can really do that. For everything that they say, I could come back. And here's my comeback to that. Why is it unrealistic for black people to get something specific to them, but the other groups get it? For a time, they kept telling us, oh, we'll never get reparations. Now, every election cycle, because we won't drop it, they talk about reparations. We're going to do a study. We don't want no damn study. That shows you how gone we are. You're going to sit there and tell me as a black man it is unrealistic for me to expect something to be done specifically for my people, but yet all the other peoples are getting specific bills. Can't buy it. But hey, you guys, I got to go and get ready for this appointment. I just wanted to stop and tell you guys the midterms are coming up. Please pay attention to the midterms. I want you to count. And don't get me wrong. If a lot of these CBC members lose their seats, that's a good thing. Because we're sending a message. Oh, well, you're going to have no black representation. We ain't got no black representation now. What are you talking about? It will send a good message. A lot of people say, well, that's crazy talk. You got to have... No, it's not. Nothing from nothing is nothing. Is voter ID Prop 50 still at Congress? The petition got more signatures that it needed in California. Now we are focused on fighting that extra mileage tax Newsom put in. Yeah, it's still in there. And then on the national level, they haven't brought it to the floor yet, but they're still garnering the counting and trying to get enough people to do it. 76% of the American people want voter ID in the Democratic Party. And yet these black representatives and these Democrats say it is racist for voter ID. But yet I could walk up to almost anybody of age and say, hey, can I see, not that they're going to say it to me, hey, do you have ID? And they're going to say, yeah, I got ID. You got to have ID to buy liquor. You got to have ID to get into a club. You got to have ID to get on a plane. You got to have ID when you check in for your medical appointment. It's just, this is the disrespect that the Democratic Party continues to show us. And I'm not telling anybody to be a Republican. What you should be as a goddamn independent. That way, if this is for you, you vote this way. If this is for you, you vote that way. Both parties will have to fight for your vote. But this is why the Democrats have no respect for black people. You're going to vote for us anyway. No matter what we do to you, you're going to vote for us anyway. Because we're not them. This is what the Democratic Party thinks. And this is what they know. But we'll see you guys a little bit later. You guys be safe out there. Again, people are afraid of what's going on in the Middle East because now the bad Iranians are going to come back and attack us. Why would they attack us? How would they attack us? Oh, that's right. We didn't have any borders. We let all of these people in unvetted. So now you're worried about sleeper cells. Isn't it important to have borders and make sure that people that come into your country come in here correctly and they're vetted? Now people are worried about their safety. Isn't that crazy? But I'm the crazy one. You're the crazy one. It's sad. It's sad, you guys. But again, here we're at. So keep your head on swivel. Be safe out there because there are dangerous people in this country. And where did they go? Where did they flood them to? The black neighborhoods. So yes, if you see somebody that might be new to the neighborhood, you better be careful. All right, you guys, have a great day. Be safe. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app on Google Play, Apple Store. And it's funny, Brother Phil Scott, and great minds think alike. And we were saying some of the same things. So if you go check out his channel, you'll see and hear him say some of the same things that I'm saying and vice versa. So sometimes we are on the same page. Yeah, and just think about this, Yara. Midterms are coming up. Number one, ask yourself, what are we going to get as black people? The Democrat, they're done with us. They're not going to promise anything to us, right? Ask yourself that. And then, if the Democrats do get into office, what do you think is going to happen to those borders? Going to be opened wide up once again. Have a great day.